My name is Friedrich. I am a student currently at the University of Regina, and I am Canadian. As you can see, it's very dark outside, other than the street lamps. I apologize if you can't see my face at any time, or if I'm not looking at the camera. It's just kind of a good idea to keep your eye on where you're going, right? So, the university experience is definitely recommendable. If you haven't gone and you have the means to go, do it. Unless it's just counterproductive for you, in which case, no real point, right? But if you're interested in learning, you have something in mind that you want to learn, or like a specific career that might require some university, not a small college or something that's off of a university campus. I can't really attest for any of those, but from what I have heard, they're not quite the same experience. So you definitely want an actual university. So what was university like? Well, at least so far, I'm not finished. It's only been 1 year. Lots to go. But the first year was fantastic. I met a ton of new people. It's crazy how many people you'll meet in university. Although I do have to mention that a lot of people are antisocial in university. So they won't necessarily engage you. You have to keep that in mind. You can't just go to university, sit on your own, and expect to make a bunch of best friends, right? You have to at least talk with the people who are in your classes. So when you go to any university course, it's your first day, introduce yourself to the prof. That's always a good thing. It'll get you on a familiar basis with your prof so that they will recognize you and be more approachable in the future. As for seating arrangement, try to sit near someone you don't know. The reason I say that, it sounds really awkward, and it really is. But try to fight that shyness inside of you. Just go for it. Just sit there. Sit beside them, introduce yourself, and who knows, you might actually make a new friend. In fact, most of the people who I consider friends that I've met at the university, that's how I met them. I would sit beside them in a class, usually in the range of an area that I would sit anyway. So, if you like the side of the room, pick someone on the side of the room to sit beside. If you like the back of the room, sit beside someone in the back. If you like the front, like me, sit beside someone there. Right? You get the idea. You probably had the idea a while ago. But that's not the point. So, sit beside people, introduce yourself, and try to sit with a new person for each class you have. So if you have 3 classes, you're guaranteed to meet at least 3 new people. Because, let's face it, once you're out of class, there's no guarantee you're going to meet anyone, especially if you don't volunteer or you don't participate in any sort of extracurricular activities. So yeah, that's my advice for when you start university. As for my experience, after meeting all those people, I volunteered in several programs, got involved with a couple of things. I met people that way as well. Probably just as many doing that as I did just sitting beside random people in classes. There are all sorts of opportunities. So when you think of a program, you might think of like a student body. There is that. And you might think of like a sports program or intramurals. University has all of that and more. There are things like a debate team, an environmental kind of club. If you're in like a particular faculty, each faculty will have its own unique little club. Sometimes specific classes will have after class socials. So something like a study session or an extra learning activity with a separate prof, like a teacher's aide or something like that. All of these things are great, depending on your interests, of course. You don't want to try something that you know for sure you don't like, but if it's something new, definitely try it. Definitely. I did a couple things like that, and they were enjoyable. Although the ones that I don't like, I removed myself from by the end of the year, because I don't want to be involved with a group that I don't like, right? I joined the group, I got my experience, and I didn't like it, so I left. And I encourage you that if you think you're going to like something, definitely join it, but if you don't end up liking it, don't feel obligated to stay. Overall, university, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's not like high school. You don't have to worry about not finding someone that you will enjoy, especially if you're the type or you're willing to sit beside new people, introduce yourself to new people, that kind of thing. Get involved. The more you get involved and the more you introduce yourself, the more you interact, the more people you will know and probably have a better experience. You can still have a great experience without all the additional social aspects, like I said before. But if you just want to go into class and get out, go to a job or whatever, do try to sit beside someone in your class. It won't necessarily make the class easier, but you might feel better overall. It'll give you a sort of an additional social aspect to your life that can be comforting, can help you to avoid any sort of depressing situations.